Hey guys, do you have a lot of stuff to complain about in your life? Well, I do, like lots of stuff. Whenever life is not treating me well, whenever I get all moody, whenever I feel all frustrated, I try to remind myself of several things that happened in my life before. Things that I cannot forget about, things that I cannot be ungrateful about. For once, I could have died in a car accident when I dozed off while driving on the freeway. For once, I jumped into a river, dumb thing to do by the way. Broke my heel bone when I could have landed on my back and broke it and never walk again. And just the thought of that gives me the goosebumps. I would never have become who I am today if I hadn't quit my job years ago and successfully, luckily, made it into the radio industry. So many coincidences, so many close calls, and if you would, I like to believe so many times God has helped me through. Here's a story I want to share with you. Have you ever watched The Prince of Egypt? Moses leading his people out of Egypt, where they were slaves to the Egyptians for 400 years, parting the Red Sea, walking straight through it, marching towards the promised land, Canaan. Such an amazing story. The Pharaoh wouldn't set the Israelites free, and so God inflicted 10 disasters on the land to make Pharaoh give way. However, in the end, Pharaoh broke his promise and he led his troops to chase after Moses and his people. And as a result, all his troops were drowned at the bottom of the Red Sea right after the Israelites passed through. To the Israelites, that was the greatest miracle ever. Proof that God was with them on that very day, liberating them from 400 years of slavery. What a day to remember. What a day to celebrate, if not forever, for generations. You would think. After their miraculous evacuation, they found themselves in the desert. It was hot, there was no food, no water, and they started to complain along the way. It came to the extent where they even started to criticize Moses and God for taking them out of Egypt. Why did you take us out of Egypt? At least we had food there. Why don't we go back? Are you trying to kill us? And even though God attended to their needs in every way he could, they still kept on complaining and whining and criticizing. They even built the golden calf to worship on their own. There are just so many things that happened that I will not get into detail about, but just so that you know how furious and how embarrassed would Moses be. Canaan was in fact just a several days journey away. They have waited for freedom for 400 years and the promised land was literally lying right in front of them. But they turned their hearts. They lost their faith. They had to go their own way and they just couldn't bear with it for a couple more days. And thus they got lost and stuck in the desert for 40 years. 40 years! They have forgotten about how God saved them from the Egyptians' hands. They have forgotten about how God brought them across a sea with an entire army on the chase. Would God have brought them out of Egypt just to let them die in the desert? Of course not. But they forgot about that. They overcame such big obstacles in the past, but got stuck in the minor troubles in the present. And so this reminds me of me, and maybe it'll remind you of you. At times when we're caught up in bad situations, adversities, worries, frustrations, when it's really hard to stay positive, we forget about the good times, the good things that happened to us in the past. The human mind is fickle. This thing right up here, the mind, it changes swiftly with the environment and atmosphere all the time. You can be all jolly and happy this moment, and the next second you know, you're all moody and crying. But you've got to stop taking matters into your own hands. You got to stop facing your problems on your own. And you got to know that God is in full control. The troubles you're going through could be caused by the mistakes you've made, or it could have nothing to do with your mistakes, but instead God building you, preparing you, training you for bigger tasks ahead. Or it could be a process, a temporary phase allowing you to get to someplace better. Just like the Israelites going through a desert to claim the promised land. No matter what the cause may be, don't forget how God worked upon you in the past. Whenever you feel lost, remind yourself about the past. Because just like the Israelites, God didn't take you out of your troubles in the past just to see you suffer and fail in the present. How God helped you, freed you, promoted you, took away your worries in the past, He'll do that all over again in the now. And at even higher levels to take you to higher places. God is like telling you, I'll help you like I did in the old days. Don't worry. There's just going to be times like these. Sometimes you fall. Sometimes you can't get your act together. Sleep it off. You'll feel better when you wake up tomorrow. God hasn't invested in you all along. And the very reason He's helped you in the past was to promote you in the present. And the things He'll do for you now will raise you up high in the future. The reason why God is doing all this for you is simply because He loves you. God works upon you because He loves you. More than any other person on this earth, more than the combined love of the 7-something billion people on this earth. God has worked upon you in the past to bring you to where you are today, and He'll do it all over again. Don't forget, there is a promised land out there. And to get there, sometimes we just need to cross some deserts. The thing is, God is there with you throughout the entire journey. You don't have to fight on your own. You are not alone. As long as you keep the faith, as long as you keep the love, God will deliver you to better places. God will deliver you to higher places. God will repay you in things and ways you could never imagine. It's just a matter of time. However, it also depends on what we do. Are we going to complain and whine and give up just like the Israelites did in the desert? Or are we going to hold on tight, keep on going, and trust that God has a divine plan for us? God has worked His wonders in order to bring us to where we are today. And today we need to try even harder to keep up with God's work to get to where we're supposed to be in the future. It takes two forces to move. God is pulling, He needs us to push. God will never let go, but He needs us to try a little bit harder. There is no such thing as coincidence before God. If you think, you pray, you ask Him, He will tell you, and you will find countless beautiful, amazing, miraculous stories in each one of you. Don't forget what God has done for you in the past, because He'll do it all over again in even greater ways. God bless you. Peace.